She screamed at me through my car window, calling me a reckless child murderer for speeding in a school zone. There was just one problem. I was parked. My engine wasn't even running. What this self-appointed neighborhood watchdog didn't know was that I'd spent 15 years as a traffic accident investigator for the state police, and I had 3 dash cams recording everything. She was about to learn a very expensive lesson about false accusations. Let me back up. My name's Michael, and I'm a recently retired state police sergeant. After 2 decades investigating traffic accidents and testifying in court, I'd moved to a quiet suburb to enjoy my pension and spend time with my wife and 2 young daughters. We bought a modest house 2 blocks from Riverside Elementary School. Perfect location. Safe neighborhood. Or so I thought. Every morning, I drop my girls at school, then park on Oak Street to make work calls before heading to my part-time consulting job. Oak Street runs parallel to the school zone, about 200 feet from the actual drop-off area. No children walk that route. The speed limit there is 35 miles per hour year-round, not a school zone designation. I'd verified this with the DMV records myself, old habits from my investigation days. That Tuesday morning started like any other. I dropped off Emma and Sophie at 7:45 a.m., then pulled into my usual spot on Oak Street. Engine off. Parking brake engaged. I was reviewing case files on my laptop when I heard the tapping on my window. I looked up to see a woman in her mid-50s, designer athleisure wear, oversized sunglasses, already pointing her finger at me. I rolled down my window. "Excuse me, do you realize you were just doing 50 miles per hour through an active school zone?" "I clocked you," she shouted. I blinked. "Ma'am, I'm parked. I've been parked for the last 5 minutes. Don't lie to me. I saw you fly down this street. You could have killed a child." I kept my voice calm. "I understand your concern for safety, but I've been stationary since I parked. My engine isn't even running." She leaned closer, her face red with anger. "I am the president of the Riverside Neighborhood Safety Committee, and I will not tolerate dangerous drivers in our community." "What's your name?" "Michael Patterson. And again, I'm happy to discuss traffic safety, but I wasn't moving." "I'm reporting you to the police and the school district," she snapped. "People like you don't belong near our children." She stormed off before I could respond. I sat there, genuinely confused. Then I remembered. All 3 of my dash cams were running. Front, rear, and interior cab view. All time-stamped. All cloud uploaded in real time. 20 years of investigation work had taught me to document everything. I had no idea this would escalate the way it did. The next morning, I found a typed letter tucked under my windshield wiper. Official notice. Michael Patterson, you have been witnessed engaging in reckless driving, 50+ mph, in a posted school zone by Certified Safety Observer Linda Hartwell, President of Riverside NSC. This constitutes child endangerment under community safety protocols. You are banned from parking on Oak Street during school hours, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., effective immediately. Violation will result in vehicle towing and criminal charges. Linda Hartwell, our NSC President, Certified Traffic Safety Observer. I read it twice. Certified Traffic Safety Observer? I'd never heard of such a certification. The ban had no legal authority whatsoever. Oak Street was public parking, and the letter was printed on fake official-looking letterhead with a fake seal. I decided to park there anyway the next day. I wanted to see how far she'd take this. The following morning, Linda was waiting for me. She wasn't alone. She'd brought 2 other middle-aged women and a man wearing a reflective vest that said Neighborhood Safety Patrol in official-looking letters. I stepped out of my car. "Good morning. I told you that you're banned from this street," Linda shouted. "This is your final warning." The man in the vest stepped forward. "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to move your vehicle. You're in violation of community safety ordinances." I looked at him carefully. The vest was store-bought. No badge. No actual authority markings. "And you are?" "Derek Morrison, Deputy Safety Coordinator." "For what agency?" He hesitated. "The Riverside Neighborhood Safety Committee." "That's not a law enforcement agency. This is public street parking. I'm legally parked." Linda shoved a paper in my face. "This is a citation for $500 for your violation yesterday, plus another $500 for today. You have 72 hours to pay or we're filing criminal charges." This citation was printed on bright yellow paper with more fake seals and legal-sounding language. It was completely fabricated. My investigator instincts were screaming. This was bordering on impersonating law enforcement. "I'm not paying this," I said calmly. And you should know that falsifying legal documents is a crime. We'll see what the real police say when I show them my evidence. Linda shot back. Please do, I replied. I encourage you to file an official report. She glared at me, then marched away with her entourage. I pulled out my phone and texted my former colleague at the county sheriff's office. Hey Sarah, got a situation you might want to know about. That weekend, I was washing my car in my driveway when Linda appeared with Derek and another man I'd never seen before. Michael Patterson, the new man said. I'm serving you with an official complaint filed with the county traffic court. He handed me a manila envelope. Inside was a multi-page document titled Formal Complaint for Reckless Endangerment of Minors. It included sworn witness statements from Linda and 3 other neighborhood members, all claiming they'd seen me repeatedly speeding through active school zones at excessive speeds. The document looked semi-official, with case numbers and filing stamps. But I noticed the case number format was wrong. The court seal was pixelated, clearly copied from an image online. The filing date was a Saturday, when traffic court is closed. It was fake. Completely fake. This isn't a real court document, I said. You're being charged with 4 counts of child endangerment. The man continued, ignoring me. You need to appear in court or a warrant will be issued. My wife Kate came outside. What's going on? It's handled, I said quietly. Then to the man, what's your name? I'm a process server. That's all you need to know. Real process servers provide identification and licensing information. You're not a process server. Linda stepped forward. We're done playing games with you. You're a menace to this community. I've contacted the school district, the police, and now the courts. If you keep parking on that street, we'll make sure you're arrested. Kate looked at me, concerned. I squeezed her hand. It's okay. I know exactly what's happening here. That's when I made the call. I'd gathered enough evidence. It was time to end this. Tuesday morning, I parked on Oak Street again. This time, Linda called the actual police. 2 patrol officers arrived. I recognized one immediately. Officer James Martinez, who I'd worked with on multiple accident investigations during my career. Linda rushed up to them. Officers, finally. This man has been terrorizing our neighborhood for over a week. Speeding through school zones, threatening safety committee members, refusing to comply with legal orders. James looked at me, and his eyes widened slightly. Sergeant Patterson? Linda's head snapped toward me. Sergeant. I pulled out my retired police identification. Morning, James. The second officer, younger, looked confused. You know this guy? Know him, James said. Sergeant Patterson was the lead traffic investigator for the state police. He literally wrote the manual I studied for my traffic enforcement certification. Linda's face went pale. He what? Ma'am, I said calmly. I've been retired for 8 months. But I haven't forgotten how to recognize fake legal documents, impersonation of law enforcement, and harassment. I was protecting the neighborhood, she stammered. By fabricating evidence and issuing fake citations. I pulled out my tablet. I have dashcam footage from every single day you've accused me of speeding. Timestamped. GPS verified. Showing my vehicle completely stationary. I also have recordings of you and your safety committee impersonating legal authorities and threatening me with fake criminal charges. James looked at Linda seriously. Ma'am, did you issue fake citations to this man? They're not fake. I'm the neighborhood safety president. That's not a real legal position, the younger officer said. Enough was enough. It was time they learned the truth. I opened my tablet and pulled up my files. Officers, I'd like to file formal complaints against Linda Hartwell and her associates for several violations. This is ridiculous, Linda shouted. You can't file complaints against me. I was doing my civic duty. James held up his hand. Ma'am, please be quiet. He turned to me. What do you have, Sergeant? I walked them through everything. The dashcam footage showing my parked vehicle on every date Linda claimed I was speeding. The fake citations with fabricated legal language. The fake court documents with forged seals. The individuals impersonating law enforcement with fake vests and titles. I also contacted the state traffic court. I continued. There's no case filed under the number on this fake summons. The seal is stolen from their website. Creating fraudulent court documents is a Class E felony. Linda's hands started shaking. I didn't know it was illegal. I was just trying to scare him into being more careful. You accused me of crimes I didn't commit, I said. You fabricated evidence. You attempted to extort $1,000 from me with fake fines. And you impersonated legal authorities. That's not civic duty. That's criminal. James radioed dispatch. We need a supervisor and another unit to Oak Street near Riverside Elementary. The younger officer asked to see the fake documents. His expression grew serious as he flipped through them. Ma'am, you created these documents? My husband helped, Linda whispered. He's a graphic designer. We just wanted to make them look official so people would take us seriously. That's forgery, James said flatly. Within 15 minutes, a sergeant arrived along with 2 additional officers. Linda's husband Derek arrived shortly after, having been called by Linda. The process server turned out to be Linda's brother-in-law, Tom. The supervising sergeant, Maria Santos, took statements from everyone. I provided copies of all my evidence, dashcam footage, GPS data, audio recordings of the confrontations, and photos of all the fake documents. Mrs. Hartwell, Sergeant Santos said, you understand you're admitting to creating false legal documents with intent to intimidate. Linda was crying now. I just wanted the neighborhood to be safe. Parents complained about speeders all the time. I thought if I could make an example of someone. So you chose to frame an innocent person with fabricated evidence. Santos cut her off. Derek tried to intervene. Officers, my wife was just being overzealous. Can't we just apologize and drop this? That's not how this works, James said. Sergeant Patterson, do you want to press charges? I took a breath. I want formal charges filed for the following: criminal impersonation of legal authorities, forgery of government documents, attempted extortion, and harassment. Linda gasped. You're ruining my life over a misunderstanding. You tried to ruin mine with lies, I replied. The difference is, you actually committed crimes. Sergeant Santos nodded. Mrs. Hartwell, your husband, and your brother-in-law are all being charged. You'll receive summonses for court appearances. Real ones this time. 2 other neighbors from Linda's safety committee had gathered nearby. When they heard what was happening, they quickly distanced themselves. One woman approached the officers. I need to make a statement. Linda told us Michael was a dangerous criminal. She said she had proof. I didn't know she was making everything up. Another neighbor added. She did this to another family last year, accused them of running a drug house because she didn't like their lawn decorations. They moved away because of the harassment. Sergeant Santos made notes. We'll need formal statements from both of you. Linda was issued citations for multiple criminal charges. Her husband and brother-in-law received citations for their roles in creating and serving the fake documents. All 3 were told they'd receive court dates within 30 days. Before the officers left, James pulled me aside. Sergeant, I'm sorry you had to deal with this. You deserve better after your service. Just doing what we were trained to do, I said. Document everything and let the evidence speak. By that afternoon, word had spread through the neighborhood. My doorbell rang constantly. Parents from the school apologized for believing Linda's stories. The actual HOA president visited to clarify that the Riverside Neighborhood Safety Committee was not an official organization and had no authority whatsoever. Linda started that committee herself about 3 years ago, he explained. We've had complaints about her tactics before, but nothing we could act on legally. This is the first time someone's actually fought back. Kate squeezed my hand after he left. I'm glad you knew how to handle this. 20 years investigating fraud helps, I said. The moment she handed me that first fake citation, I knew exactly where this was going. 3 weeks later, Linda Hartwell, her husband, and brother-in-law all pleaded no contest to reduce charges. Linda received 100 hours community service, a $2,500 fine, and a restraining order preventing her from contacting me or my family. Her husband paid an additional $1,500 in fines for creating the forged documents. The local district attorney used the case as a warning about neighborhood vigilantism and fake legal documents. It made the local news. Linda resigned from every neighborhood organization she'd been part of. My family continued living peacefully in our home. I still park on Oak Street to make my morning calls. No one bothers me anymore. In fact, several neighbors now stop to chat and thank me for exposing Linda's pattern of harassment. 2 other families came forward with their own stories of Linda's fake investigations and false accusations. The HOA implemented new guidelines preventing any member from claiming official authority or issuing citations of any kind. Here's what I learned. Bullies with fake authority are counting on you not knowing your rights. Linda assumed I was just another victim who'd be intimidated by official-looking documents and loud accusations. She picked the wrong person. Always document everything. My dash cams were running constantly, not because I expected trouble, but because 20 years of investigating accidents taught me that the truth is whatever you can prove. Those recordings protected me completely. Real authority doesn't need to shout. Every time Linda screamed about her power and her committee, it was because she knew she had no actual legal standing. Real law enforcement officers don't need to convince you they're in charge. Sometimes people who claim to be protecting the community are actually terrorizing it. Linda got away with her intimidation tactics for years because her victims were too scared or uninformed to fight back. The moment someone with actual knowledge called her bluff, her entire house of cards collapsed. Thank you for watching this story. If you enjoyed seeing justice served against a fake authority figure who got exactly what she deserved, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more real stories of karma and consequences. Have you dealt with neighborhood bullies or fake HOA enforcement? Drop your stories in the comments below. I read every single one.